Hello and welcome along, everybody, to a slightly overcast city of Stockholm for Stage 9 of the Global Champions League. This is GCTV. My name is Mark Lewis, and we continue to dive down into the GCL season of 2024. And what a fantastic place to play host to us today here, the Stockholm Stadium that played host to the Olympic Games back in 1912. The USA back in 1912 earned the most gold medals, but it was actually, in fact, the host Sweden that accumulated the most medals throughout those games. So success to the Swedes in the Stockholm Stadium is nothing new. And you'll see a similar theme building up here for the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, later on today as they look to try and rewrite history as well. We'll unpack those potential record-breaking moments and, of course, pay special attention to the official start of the second half of the season as the mid-season transfers make their first appearance in 2024. We will dive into that much deeper a little bit later on and speak to the championship leaders and speak to some of those new faces. So it's a very busy afternoon here in the city of Stockholm. We ask you and encourage you to stay with us on GCTV throughout the rest of the day. For now, though, before we begin to unpack all of this, let's take a look back at the previous stage in Paris. Remind you of that long overdue win for the Doha Falcons and exactly what it means to them for picking up that first victory since somewhere in week 1 back in 2021.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paris for stage 8 of the Global Champions League. Oh, how lucky can you be? Stockholm Hearts have now taken the lead. Valkenswaard. And now this time, there goes the rail. And there it's gone. And that means that Stockholm Hearts now find themselves on the podium. Stolfi Henners. If they finish in front of Stockholm, they take the lead back. And that's gone. Now that is now gone. Kathrin Eckermann. And can Stars come second? A good clear from Kathrin Eckermann. It is Doha Falcons. They have got 2 rails in hand. Giri with a serious option at a stage win. Doha Falcons. But here in Paris, the winners are Doha Falcons, regardless the fault at the final fence, but they have won it. A time penalty is added as well, but Doha Falcons win the stage in Paris.
Mike is really strong here. He support the pressure. Okay, he had a little bit advance with Mike Lear before, but he has still to do the run and make perfectly. Small fault on the last one, but he had to secure the podium and the victory. It's really nice.
So they've waited almost 4 years, have the Doha Falcons, but finally they pick up that first victory since somewhere in 2021. What a result it was for them and for the team as well. The big question then is, what was the impact of that Paris stage on the overall ranking? Let's show you then what the rankings now look like after Paris and what is the impact of that. The Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, continue to hold on to the lead. In fact, they've now extended that lead to 5 points over the Can Stars, powered by the Iron Dames. But with that victory, Doha Falcons jump up to 3rd place. Razorback International, powered by Kingsland Equestrian, who continue with a late charge. Harry Allen and Christian Kukuk in the lineup today for round 1 are in 4th place. Madrid Emotion, Falcons Duarte United, and Mexico Amigos make up 5, 6, and 7. Let's take a look at the bottom half of the table, and some very big names there that will be very disappointed with their placement, with their position on the bottom half of the table. The Prague Lions, powered by the Czech Equestrian team, in 8th. Shanghai Swans, big news about their mid-season transfer. They find themselves in 12th. And the Scandinavian Vikings, I'm afraid, in 14th place, 9 points behind New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds. It is all, though, about the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, the championship leaders that are looking to try and create some history here in Stockholm. If you are unaware, let me take you back a couple of years and remind you as to who was victorious here in Stockholm over the last couple of years. Because it was the Stockholm Hearts back in 2022 that were victorious here. They were the winners once again in Stockholm 2023. Can they make it 3 in a row? No team has ever done it 3 in a row. A handful of teams have won back-to-back stages. Falcons Wart United won Cannes in 2017 and 18. Saint-Tropez won in Hamburg in 2018 and 2019. London Knights have done it twice, in fact. Madrid 2018-2019 and London 2018-2019. So history beckons for the Stockholm Hearts to become the first ever GCL franchise to win the same stage in 3 consecutive years. Is 2024 that year? We will find out. We caught up with Nicola Philipparts from the Hearts to find out how they're feeling today.
I think the team is feeling great. We have had a few good shows. It's been going well, but of course, home crowd here in Stockholm is always quite a bit of pressure, and hopefully we can have a good weekend. Yeah, I think the season's been good. Like you said, we've been on 4 podiums. It's been very good, but there's still a lot of legs coming up. All the teams are very close, and for sure here in the home crowd, we try to have a very good weekend and try to be good and try to be on the podium again. To be honest, I didn't know if there was a record to have 3 wins in the same place. For sure, we're going to try to do our best. I think there's a few good horses here, and they feel in very good shape. But of course, there's many good riders here. The level is very high, and we need to have a good day. I think the team feels great to have Julien Epaillard on the team. He's one of the world's best riders. He has a few good horses, and we could really use him in the team for the second part. He's really good to have on, and he rides a lot of clear rounds, and he's quick. He's always quick. So we're really looking forward to have him on our team. The plan was to get Julien ready a few months ago on the team. I think it was set a little bit in the beginning of the season that he could do a second part, a few more global tours, and we're very happy and delighted to have him on the team. I think we all are naturally quite fast, but for sure Epaillard, he's extremely quick and extremely competitive, which really helps in our team. I think for sure he's a good guy to have in the team, give his experience and to ride clear rounds. It is on your mind if you're in pole position, like we say. It's for sure it's good. Now we can only go down, so we really have to be strong and really plan every single leg very good, that we have good horses and that the results stays like how they are. I must say, Stockholm Hearts has been a fantastic team over the last years. We really tried to plan, and of course I would like to thank H&M as well to be such a main part in the team and really support us. It's been very good. Hopefully we can have one to win this year, but for sure the season is still very long and we still have a lot of legs coming up.
On a personal note, I don't know if you know this, but you're not only the highest contributor to points on your team, but also every other team. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but like I said, there's still a lot of legs coming up, and for sure I'm going to try to do my best and keep my horses in good shape to get a few more points.
How are your horses?
Hopefully they're good. I brought H&M Luna here for the team competition. She feels good. She won in Mexico, so hopefully she can have a good week in Stockholm here as well.
Who's riding for the team this week?
So it will be Olivier, Jessica and me that are here for the 3 of us, and we haven't decided yet who will ride the first round. I think the feeling to come here in the home leg in Stockholm is fantastic. It always gives you an extra boost when you come in the ring, and for sure it will be fantastic to ride on the team tomorrow.
Nicola and Olivier Philipparts will be riding for the Stockholm Hearts. First team out the gate today, by the way. Unlucky draw number 1 for the Stockholm Hearts. And as you mentioned, Luna coming out for Nicola. And a rather unknown quick tweet, a 9-year-old for Olivier coming out later. But in their pursuit of 3 GCL titles in consecutive years of the same venue, the Stockholm Hearts are going to have plenty support, as you would imagine, especially from the Stockholm Hearts squad that are alongside Rosie Tapner. Rosie, go ahead.
This as people are starting to come into this famous stadium. We have got the Stockholm Hearts squads, and there are lots of them here, all excited to see the Stockholm Hearts. They're coming out first as well today, so I know that the cheers will be going straight round this amazing stadium. These girls, you've traveled a long way for this. How far have you come?
5 hours. Yeah, I'm from Malmö, so it's a long way.
And how excited are you guys to see them?
Real excited. It's going to be so much fun.
Do you think they're going to win today?
I hope so.
They're gonna give it a good go. You girls, who's your favorite rider today?
Oh, I love the twins.
Both twins, we love the twins. How far have you guys traveled for this?
Not very far, we live just outside Stockholm.
And do you come here every year?
We do.
How much do you love this? What is it about this that you love?
Oh, the sport. The sport.
Can they do it?
They can do it.
They can do it today. They can do it today. You girls as well, you've come from here just for the Stockholm Hearts. Who are you looking forward to seeing most?
Mostly Nicola. I think he's going to win.
Yeah, do you think so? This is going to be a good day for them?
I really hope so.
And how far have you travelled?
2 hours, so not so long.
Not too far, but you're still here. You're still ready for it. You girls as well. Who's your favourite rider on the team today?
Nicola Philippus.
Nicola. We've got big fans for Nicola and all the twins as well. You girls enjoying yourself so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoying it. You've got some lovely glitter and some face paint on you as well, ready for the day. I know you've got your parents over there. We've got all red hats, we've got flags as well. Are they going to do it today, everyone? Yes, they are. A big welcome for the Stockholm Hearts. I'm with the Stockholm squad. Let's do it.
All right, Rosie Tapner, thank you very much. Nicola Philippart's got loads of fans here at the Stockholm Stadium getting ready for Global Champions League Round 1 coming up in a few moments' time. But as we promised at the top of the show, today is a very big day. Today is a very important day because for the first time this season, we finally move into part 2. The mid-season transfers have been completed, and today in Stockholm will serve as the first opportunity for the teams to unveil their new riders. So, with no further ado, let's take a look at what it looks like with the mid-season transfers. And that's when you know it's serious. We bring in some leaders, we bring in some jingles. Fredrik de Backer joins us for the first time on the show here today to talk about these mid-season transfers. Fredrik, we're going to dive into detail in a couple of the teams, but from a more wider out perspective, let's talk about the mid-season transfer. I remember you telling me that this was going to be one of the busiest calendar mid-season transfers we've ever seen. Tell us briefly what has taken place from a wider perspective.
Yeah, well, Mark, the league started in 2016, and over all of these years, those 8 seasons that we've been on the league, we've never seen as much activity between teams, but also new riders coming in, others going out. In fact, we've got 14 teams on the championship, and only 2 teams did not make any substitutions, did not make any new signings, and those teams are CanStars powered by Iron Dames, but also, and that's not a surprise, Riesenberg International powered by Kings. But that means that 12 teams in total, 12 teams have done some shopping, have been picking and choosing some riders, choose them from already existing teams, or brought in new ones. But it's not just 12 changes, it's 16 in total, Mark. 16 changes have been processed also by the FEI, the Equestrian Federation, that have to approve all of these substitutions. And 2 are very interesting. 2 under 25-year-olds come in. It's Leonie Bachmann, who is the new U25-year-old for Valkenswaard United. And on the other hand, it is Mariana Chavez. She is an under 25 rider for Monaco Aces, powered by Lion of Porches.
I like the fact that you go into Monaco Aces because they arguably, Fredrik, have been the busiest team in this transfer window, doing a huge amount of business. You mentioned a new under-25 rider, but talk to us from the Monaco Aces perspective. They look like almost a brand new team, don't they?
Well, they started this season as a brand new team. You know, the new partner coming in, Lion of Porches, supporting Monaco Aces, 6 new riders in their lineup. So it was a big overhaul. There were big hopes and dreams about that team. But if you look at the standings, they didn't do so well. So they desperately need clear rounds. They don't need podiums. It starts with clear rounds. And that is why they bring in 3 new riders. Céline Schombro de Azevedo, Edouard Levy, and as mentioned, the new under-25 rider. What is a funny story with Monaco Aces is that Céline Schombrood is, of course, replacing her son, Luis Felipe Neto de Azevedo, and is joining her husband, but we'll talk about that later.
All right, so husband, wife, son, it's all happening at the Monaco Aces. I like what New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, have done, Fredrik. They've gone shopping for new talent, but they've also gone for some familiar faces, haven't they? Who have New York Empire brought in?
Well, on one side, they have signed David Will, who was a former, I think it's the 2019-2018 era. He was a New York Empire rider. Last year, we saw him as a member of Riyadh Blue, powered by Al Hilal, but now comes back to his familiar home to New York Empire. And he also is joined by his good friend, business partner, teammate, by Richard Vogel. Vogel, who in Mexico was standing under the 2.5 rule, that famous rule, standing for Owen McMahon on Riesenberg International, powered by Kings and they question, but they did not keep hold of Richard Vogel. He was a free agent and got signed by New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds.
All right, so Richard Vogel comes in, David Will comes in, also very good business for New York Empire, by the way. Georgina Bloomberg and Paris Sellen move out of the team. But Fredrik, if we're talking about big names, take nothing away from David Will, take nothing away from Richard Vogel, but am I right in maybe saying the fact that the Shanghai Swans, who we know are in a desperate push for the second half of the season, have arguably brought in the biggest name of the entire transfer window?
Absolutely, they have the champion maker. Ben Meyer comes in for Shanghai Swans. We know how difficult their season has been so far, with eliminations, with poor results, etc. Now Ben Meyer comes in, and what does he come in for? Does he come in for a bid for the championship race or for the top four? If we're honest and if we're fair, we can only say that it's too little, too late. So what is Ben Meyer here for? He's here for stage wins, but I think he's mainly here for the Super Cup final or semi-final, quarter-final, and the final in Riyadh at the end of the season, which the Swans have won already in their history. But I think that is the main focus for Ben Meyer and for the Shanghai Swans. Ben Meyer, who brings, I think, 5 horses that can produce clear rounds in both round 1 and in round 2. So it's somewhere also slightly a surprise that Ben Meyer did not get signed by one of the leading teams. But no, apparently Shanghai Swans were quicker on the ball to sign Ben Meyer.
Oh, that's an excellent acquisition, because you're right. Just to remind everyone, the big purpose of this mid-season transfer is to boost your lineup, to bolster your horsepower going into the second half of the season. With a huge amount of horses that Ben Meyer brings in, with, I love, as you say, the championship-making credentials that he has, can they put in a real late charge for a GCL Super Cup semi-final at the GC playoffs in Riyadh later on this year? And we're talking big names, we're talking firepower, Fredrik. We are here in Stockholm. Let's talk about who the Hearts bring in, because they too bring themselves a real out-and-out winner, don't they?
Well, they really do. Julien Epaillard is signed by Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. Epaillard, a multi-Grand Prix winner, a man with 5 horses that can produce in round 1 and in round 2 the necessary clears to fend off those rivals. And who are those rivals? Like we mentioned already, CanStars, powered by Iron Dames, Riesenberg International. It is somewhat, I don't say it's surprising, but it's a sign that Stockholm, who are leading, have signed one of the fastest men on the planet, and that those 2 rivaling teams actually haven't done any business. I just wonder how they would have felt, what they were doing or what they were drinking or eating when they heard the news that the big championship rival, Stockholm Hearts, signed the big name of Julien Epaillard. And is this then going to be this season, with the help of Epaillard, that finally Stockholm Hearts, after coming second in 2022, that Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, are going to win the championship?
What a sign of intent from a team already leading the championship. You're right, Fredrik, to then bring in a multi-Grand Prix winner like Julien Epaillard. Boy, that makes them very, very difficult to catch for the second half. Fredrik, thank you. That's been a wonderful breakdown as to who has come in, some of the big names to keep an eye out for the second half of the season. Fredrik, thank you very much. We'll catch up with you again in a few moments' time. As we speak, though, about Monaco Aces doing that wonderful business, let's catch up with Rosie Tapner, who sits down with the team to get to know them a little bit better ahead of the second half of the season.
Well, mid-season transfers have happened, and one team that have had multiple transfers are Monaco Aces. Lovely to see you all back here in Stockholm. And Felipe, I want to start with you. Reflect on the season. You've been part of the team.
Yes, so this season is amazing. I started in Miami, which was very nice. I got the opportunity to compete there, and I had my family with me, like my brother was in the show and my son. After that, we did Madrid, myself. I decided there to compete just in the team competition, preserve a little bit my mare. I think that is also something which we need to manage because it's a very hard season. And then after Paris, and now I'm here like a training this week with my wife, and then with Inez. So I training from both of those riders, and Mariana, which is the new face we're gonna see in the next in the next competition. I think she started in Reisenbach.
I was going to say to you, we've got a few new faces in the team now.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the transfers? How did you decide on them?
I mean, I was there like a rider, like a training, but that decision, it's more from the manager of the team, Filippi. Of course, we spoke a lot together about everything, and I'm really, really optimistic with Edouard. I think he's a great rider. I know him for a while, and many good results in all the season. We have Gregory Cotard, which is good, so it's a little bit very good mix.
Well, also you've also brought your wife into the team, Celine. It's so fantastic to have you here, Celine, as well. You've never actually been on a Global Champions League team. What's it like so far?
No, actually I did one global in my life because I got a wild card in Paris in 2019, and I was second on the Grand Prix. So for me it was a really good memories, and I hope this season I can do something and help a little bit the team to get some points. And for me it's a really good opportunity and good experience.
Well, it's great to have you on the team. Edward, such lovely words from Philippe there. So hopeful that you're going to bring something to the team. How have preparations been for this weekend?
We always prepare, I hope, smartly the big shows like the GCT shows. We try to come with horses in the same times ready and fresh.
Monaco Aces, what is the realistic goal for you guys? You're coming into the team, Edward. What would you love the goal to be for the end of the season?
Okay, I think when we just get in a team, we will try to see a little bit step by step how the things are going. What is good is we are all very good friends in and out of the circuit, so even for the decisions, the communication will be pretty easy. We will see how the horses are jumping, how the rider feels. Sometimes it's about results, sometimes it's about feeling. Okay, for sure we will try to be stronger and stronger shows after shows and try to make a very nice second part of season. For sure the horses will give their best and we'll see.
Well, there have been a few transfers during this team, but I think it's a team really based on family and friends, and you can really feel that here right now, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
A much, much deeper look into the Monaco Aces as we continue to talk about transfers on the show. Today is the first official day that all of these new transfers that now come across your screen get the opportunity to make their first appearance. Now, of course, not all of them will feature here today, but today does signal the time that they can indeed begin to challenge with their new team. And we will see a handful of them coming up later on today. We already spoke in depth about the Monaco Aces, about New York Empire, Shanghai Swans, and the Stockholm Hearts. And speaking of that New York Empire build-up, well, Davidville and Richard Vogel coming into the mix. Those are two very, very dangerous riders that could do a lot of good for New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds. Rosie Tapner caught up with Davidville to get his thoughts on making a comeback home to New York.
Quite a basic way of looking at it, but it's simple for everybody to understand. So this walk, 7 strides. It's very important that my horse jumps a little bit to the right, so important I hold him straight, that I can keep
involved, and it's a new experience for me to join halfway through.
Part of the season, though. What's it like joining halfway through?
Add something to the table for the team.
Talk to me about the horses that you've brought here this weekend.
So this weekend I brought Cansal and Zaccorado Blue. Zaccorado Blue and we are already old companions. He has many placings up to 160 under his belt, up to 5-star Grand Prix level. So he's experienced, he's ready and up for the task. And then I have a more new horse with me, but we were also already successful up to 160 Grand Prix level. So I brought two big guns.
It's just you and Spencer here this weekend. Have you worked together before?
Spencer and we're great friends. We have worked together before, and I'm really looking forward to being here with him this weekend. We're only the two of us, so a little extra pressure, but should be only good for us.
What team tactics have you talked about so far?
Clear rounds and more clear rounds. That's the tactic. We gotta give it our best to improve our situation in the standings a little bit.
At what point were you called up to be on this team? At what point did you know that you would be joining here?
There's already been talks like spring this year. I'm very good with Georgina herself and also with her trainer and manager Jimmy Doyle, and at that stage we've already been discussing it a little bit.
You're such a fantastic rider with serious horsepower coming into this team. Realistically, where do you think the team can end up at the end of the season?
Oh, I think that's a little bit too early to say where we can end up, but we're all going to try our best and make sure that we go up a few steps.
Sounds like New York Empire then having secured the services of David Will early in the spring already, so getting their business done early are New York Empire. And as we said, along with David Will, Spencer Smith will jump for the team powered by Lugano Diamonds. They will in fact be the last team to come later on today. Let's take a break. When we return, we find out exactly what has been designed by Uliana Vizzani this weekend to challenge the riders in Global Champions League.
Elegance is an attitude.
Of course it is.
Elegance is an attitude.
Of course it is.
Welcome back to GCTV. Welcome back to Stockholm for stage 9 of the Global Champions League. We are preparing and getting ready for round 1 coming up in a few moments' time. It's time for us to go to Fredrik de Backer. Let's get some analysis as to what the course looks like today for GCL round 1. Fredrik de Backer, welcome back to the show. Let's talk about what Vizzani has put together. Take us through how round 1 is built.
Thank you very much, Mark. Remarkable. I always get a little bit of feedback from the riders on the ground, and I've received 2 completely different approaches about how this first course or this first round of Global Champions League in Stockholm will be ridden. For example, the start 1 to 2. One says it's always a 7. The other one says it's always an 8. Already a first discussion in that first line. Then the line 3 to 4 from the vertical to Agria to these golden rails of Norrviken. That is fairly standard. That is set at 7 strides. And then it gets interesting. We're still very early in the course, but away from the in-gate. In-gate sits here, just in front of it. In-gate sits here. You go away from the in-gate into the combination. those Global Champions League combinations always jump difficult, Mark. We've seen it in the past now a few times, but it's a related distance through the combination into this red oxer. Here is the big video wall, and this sits quite deep into the corner. Those are the Dalarna horses. It's a beautiful piece of heritage and culture of Swedish culture, those Dalarna horses, but those unicolor rails will not jump very well. We know how difficult red actually jumps for plenty of the horses. Then it is 5 or 6, and from what I see on the course plan, there is no alternative. Yet I do get 2 different versions from 2 different riders, 5 or 6 in the line, from 7 to 8 here to Lugano Diamonds. And then this is truly a question. There is an inside line on 7 strides from 8 into the double combination, or an outside bend, sorry, so inside is 7, outside bend is 8. And as you can see, Vezzani did not position his double combination parallel here with the edge of the ring. No, it's actually on the angle, so you're jumping into the corner. And I do think that coming in on 7, it'll be difficult to get straight. Coming in on 7 will be too flat, so a lot of riders will opt for the outside 8. 9 strides to fence 10, that's actually a place where you can open your eyes and look. It's a forward 7 up to fence 11 here. It's a very delicate vertical. It's a birch vertical. And I think there's a plank on top, a POT if you remember, Mark. Plank on top here at fence 11. And then it is the last fence that we need to discuss. 12 into 13. There's a big triple bar here coming out of the corner. And then you've got 2 verticals, double of verticals, the Viking ships as the very last fence right here. Now, if you walk this is always a 6-stride line into the combination. But from what I hear, the 7 will be much safer, a much more comfortable option. And there is room to ride the 7 with the slide bend. Also, you won't fly over this triple bar. So it seems that this will be a line of 7 into the combination. With all those options, plenty of Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C must be made. Alternatives must be prepared. But also with all these options and long loops, we're always worried about the time allowed as well. From what I hear, it is not overly big, Mark. It's not overly big. We do know that we've got a lot of younger horses coming into these stages of the season. So Vezzani has kept that in mind. But on the flip side of that coin is the technicality, is the light material, are the optical tricks that Vezzani is trying to play with the Dalarna horses, with the golden rails here, with the plank on top at 11, the Viking boats as well. Those are some of the more visual difficulties that Vezzani has built in. Lots of questions, even for my commentary, for my first course explanation. I don't know what I'll see or what I have to come up with. We'll have to see when the first riders come in.
All right, Fredrik de Backer, thank you very much. You speak about a lot of young horses coming in. Well, quick tweet, a 9-year-old from Olivier Philipparts will be the very first horse out the gate. So immediately we will get some reaction as to how potentially the young horses are going to deal with this very tricky course. And in fact, if you see just over my shoulder, over there in the corner, is the Dalarna horses that Fredrik was talking about. And you talk about the difficulty of that color red. It is very wisely used by Uliana Vezzani here today in Global Champions League Round 1. As always, we want you to get involved in the show. We want you to use the social media channels to speak to us. We want you to engage. We want you to ask questions. We also want to know if you want to send some questions to the overall GCL winner later on tonight. GCL_official is the official Instagram name, Instagram profile. If you want to go check it out, send your questions to our winners later on tonight. GCL_official. If you want to make it even easier, that QR code that's on your screen, just go on and snap the QR code right now. It will take you straight through to the GCL official page. Send any questions you may have to the winners later on tonight. And if your question is the best, we'll select a couple. We will ask them to the winners of Global Champions League Stage 9 in Stockholm, who will be here in the studio in a few moments' time. Let's talk about the start list as well, by the way. I've told you that the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, will be the first team to come out the gate today. The Philipparts twins will be starting for Stockholm Hearts. H&M Luna, an LGCC Grand Prix winner with Nicola, and Quick Tweet, a 9-year-old for Olivier. Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, Angelica Augustin Zanotelli. They come in with a brand new transfer, just by the way. Peter de Vos will jump alongside her with Tupi de la Roque. Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. Riesbeck International, powered by the Kingsland International side. Shanghai Swans, Doha Falcons, and Madrid Emotion make up the top half. We will take a break and then join the second half of that lineup that will be closed by New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, who, as we spoke about a little bit earlier on in the transfer discussion, will then see new man David Will alongside Spencer Smith. Let's go inside the Stockholm Stadion here for Stage 9 of the Global Champions League. Stay with us on GCTV as GCL Round 1 is next.
The weather is changing, the temperatures are lowering, and rain is coming in for the coming hours, especially the coming days here in the Swedish capital. But so far we have kept it dry today, not so much yesterday, but in case of rain there's always some Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M caps that can keep the hats off the fans dry out here in Stockholm's stadium. There it says that it's cloudy and windy. It might even get a bit rainy throughout the day. We'll see how that develops. Competition against the clock, of course, is coming up here in Stockholm. Meter 55 is the size of this course. We have got a total of 42 riders competing in this class, including 14 individuals, and the rest will feature as team riders. Those are the famous Dalarna horses, part of Swedish culture and Swedish heritage. There we go, Ujano Vezzani, the course designer, the Italian, with the builds of the weekend. Yesterday already 2 speed classes under his belt. Today, once more, 2 speed classes, one at 1 meter 60, that will be round 2. And then tomorrow, if you just join us, tomorrow Grand Prix much earlier. Grand Prix scheduled at 11 o'clock, so perfect over brunch. That launching Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Stockholm. Keep in mind that the timetables have changed due to incoming bad weather. That's why the Grand Prix will be held so much earlier, regularly at 3 o'clock. But now we'll have it at 11 already, early in the season. New face, Celine Schoonbrood de Azevedo for Monaco Aces, powered by Lion of Porsches. And also Wiesmann has signed a new member on their team. Stockholm Hearts coming with Julia Epaillard, who we will not see this weekend. Epaillard to come in later. The Gladiators have signed up with Kyle Tim, and the Falcons are joined by Bassem Mohamed. He is a new face for Prague Lions. We know this Swedish face very well, but now part of the Prague Lions team, and there is some camaraderie between the Doha Falcons and the Shanghai Swans. Starters orders for the individuals. Waterloo goes first, the Belgian, with Fahrenheit de Vin as young horse. Then FMS, Fernando Martinez Zomer with Joep, and then Steiner, Geri, Mansour, Tyson Jolie and Weishaupt. Then Olivier and Nicolas Philipparts, 15th and 16th. They are the first of the team riders to go. From there we open a can of 14 teams with 2 riders and 2 horses. The lucky draw as last to go for New York Empire, where Spencer Smith is joined by David Will. New York Empire powered by Lugano Diamonds. Spencer Smith on Casablanca, and David Will is on Canzal there in 42nd position. Course is built, grandstands are filling up nicely, and at this point still good weather for a glass of red wine it is. Plenty of red caps, as you can see. The all-in logos, the Stockholm Hearts logos, well represented for the Stockholm Hearts cheer squad. Swedish and even fans from abroad could sign up to be part of the Stockholm Hearts cheer squad. And I'm sure that we'll hear them loud and clear throughout the afternoon. Gregory Watley and his Fahrenheit de Vin is first to go. Watley on a youngster. Watley on a 9-year-old. Sired by the great Kornet Obolensky. The Belgian on the grey. The Belgian who doesn't always have the best memories about this stage here in Stockholm. With Burgos last year on Paris Panthers. A result that may have cost them the championship win in the end. Good move. Good rhythm from 2 to 3. 7 to Norwegian to the Oxer, and then away from the in-gate, picks his first distance, and he has a little look there, the Stallion. The 5 run a touch deep for this couple, now rolling back on the angle. Ooh, deep on 6. No avoiding that rail, Fahrenheit de Vin. He jumped the vertical on the angle so he could curve a bit more, find more room for the 6, but he could not get them in the end. Or is it better to ride them straight, get square to the upright and then ride it on 5 strides rather? That could also be an option. Triple bar, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the combination. 6 actually come quite nice, but for Watley and Fahrenheit it is a result of 12. And it was talk that it would make more sense to ride 7 strides from the triple bar into the double. Watley and Fahrenheit de Vin. Here on 6 into the double of uprights, and with the 2 rails, does that mean that 7 is going to be better, or was it just the inexperience of Fahrenheit that could act as explanation for those rails? Fernando Martinez Sommer, the Mexican, on you. Has he got a different plan? He rode it on 8. The really fast couples can get there on 7. Here the standard 7 to the golden rails. Slightly in hand though, the 5. You can't just sit there and let them come. There, you have to do something. You have to get your horse well on the hind leg and create a bit of room. And Martinez Sommer got really nice, square, straight to the vertical. Also had to ride the 6 strides. The 5 seemed to be too far away. Now fault into the combination. 3 combinations on course. Six with room, that's well ridden. And so it's 1 down and 4 penalties there at 9A rail, still in the sound. for Fernando Martinez Sommer. And Joep quietly stepping up for and with Fernando Martinez. FMS, who might be a round 2 rider for Prague Lions, of course. Round 1 with Angelica Augustsson Zanotelli and with Peter de Vos. And in round 1, the Mexico Amigos are formed by Carlos Hank and Eduardo de Menezes. And so Nadia Peter-Steiner with Japelou as individual pair. Waiting 8 with Japelou, beautiful how he opens up over that upright, took his time, the stallion. Oh, and just, it's a teacher, but I think she came forward a bit too early. Maybe felt that she was a little bit long. I wanted to rush the fence, make sure that she would get there. But it's a front rail that is gone for Nadia Peter-Steiner. Maybe in the replay, with the same profile, we get a different look. Or a better look at what happened. Waiting 6 to Lugano. And it's actually a holding 7 on the inside line for Nadia Peter-Steiner. Just like Fernando Martinez Sommer, will others go out on 8? The birch plank and the line of the triple bar to the double of uprights, the Viking ships. And so she created room. It was a beautiful 6 through the bend, not on the inside. And then he jumped it beautifully. But also one down for Nadia Peter-Steiner, who is nearly 5 seconds slower than Fernando Martinez Sommer. And so the Swiss now in second, the Mexican still leading. Here's that fault. Difficult to judge. You needed a fraction earlier, the image, to get a better understanding of exactly what happened for the unfortunate Swiss Nadia Peter-Steiner and her Dutch-bred Japelou. Jérôme Guéry has traveled to Stockholm with Guillaume de Hus, who is resting in the stable, might come out or will come out for round 2, I guess. Guéry for the Doha Falcons right now as individual with Enjoy Deol. 10-year-old French gelding by Canan and Carthago. And then the famous Fragance de Chalut de Mer by Jalisco, who also sired My Lord Carthago, the Vienna Global Tour Grand Prix winner of Pénélope Leprévost. That moves with a lot of activity. Oh, nearly got there too early on the 7 strides. Away from the in-gate. Waiting 6, and he could release just in time to then get a positive flow over the oxen, now also into the combination. This is going very well for Jérôme Guéry and Enjoy Deol. Oh, and the plank. You could see it through the outside bend on 7 strides, got a little bit long. And Guéry could not create the same jump, could not create the same connection and balance that he had through the rest of his course on that outside loop, on that outside line. And so in the end it is 12 penalties. Guéry the first to go around this fast. It is 67.98 for Jérôme Guéry. Same score as his fellow countryman Grégory Wathelet, but Guéry another 2 seconds faster. And I said that Steiner was 5 seconds slower than Martinez Sommer. That is not the case. Steiner was 0.7 of a second behind Martinez Sommer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, slightly long. Couldn't stay on the inside track or on the heart-to-heart line to meet this birch plank. And then it fell apart for Guéry. Oh, and he's mad. Yuri Mansour mad at why the jury waited so long to ring the bell. Now Coriano van Marle getting a little bit more excited than Mansour actually wants. Mansour was waiting for a quicker ring of the bell and a quicker start of the countdown. Coriano by Cannabis Z. Jumped up well, Mansour, and especially Coriano. Plenty of time on the back rail. He jumped the first oxer quite well, the Norwegian oxer with the golden rails. And then Mansour, it's so easy with his horse to add a stride, and then with the addition, got too deep. And then Mansour and Coriano didn't stand a chance. Mansour retires. And I think Mansour will think back about the lateness of that starting sign for him and for Coriano van Marle. This was spectacular. And then he comes out of the turn, has to wait, and then he's actually very much to the outside. And yeah, he's to the outside, he's too long, and then Coriano has to jump to the inside, gets a very steep landing. And then it's almost a stride and a half to get out of the double. Over to Salataise, who does not compete on Can Stars, at least not in round one. Here with Cum Laude, there's Janne Meyer and Stefano Nogara. Thijssen with Cum Laude, it is Konki Dam that has travelled here as lead horse for the young Dutch. An early fault for Salataise and a second one. Thijssen now also risking to land outside the time allowed of 77 seconds. And then comes in with, comes home with 12 and time. Oh, and another rail. Cum Laude not showing the greatest form here on the second day of the Stockholm event. 1.35 outside the time allowed, a score of 18. And Sanitation. It'll be difficult to make the team with this horse. Over to Ines Joly with Féline de Foncombe. And it is Luis Felipe de Azevedo on Case and Cry as a trainer, and of course teammate on Monaco Aces, powered by line of Porsches. However, Ines Joly competing as individual. Oh, nearly lost the jump, the shape over that Oxer. Joly takes her time, goes a little bit wider, but has a good rhythm. That's wide open into the combination. Féline handling that really well. Still strong, still clear. How many clears? You ask? 0. So far, no clears. Well set up for the upright. Rolls back to the triple bar, and then 6 into the double of the Viking ships. Oh, and then she's a touch deep and a touch fast, and there's no time for Féline de Foncombe. And all of a sudden, she is not aiming for clear, and the lead, she comes home on 8 1/3. Ines Joly and Féline de Foncombe. That was already a lucky touch for Joly and Féline. And that is just too open, too flat. Whiteout in round one has no Riesenbeck international duties. With the Mescorial PS. Building by Messenger. Oh, and there goes the back rail. But they don't jump that double combination really well, do they? I've allowed 77 seconds. Could risk a time penalty at this pace. Grandstands in the meanwhile well filled. And can Weishaupt make the 77? Or is he going to add one for time? Just inside, a second inside the time allowed Philipp Weishaupt, the slowest on 4, and that was into third place following that rail, coming into the Global Champions League double combination at 5A away from the ingate. This is that approach. It's actually front leg fault for Weishaupt and for Mescorial. Deuser, Daniel Deuser. 9th to go, field of 42, 14 individuals than teams. Bingo Saint-Hermel is his right. And meanwhile, 13-year young stallion, French bred, at least French registered. He's actually born in Belgium, but registered in the Saint-Français stud book. Wow, that's a great turn. Wow, that was fantastic. He did it yesterday in the speed class with his horse, and he's done it again now. What a brilliant turn from 2 to 3. He made a related distance out of a line that was never meant to be related. Six to the Oxer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 extra stride. Nice and straight in. Well planned from Deuser. One stride more than most, but he didn't lose any time because of his high rhythm. No clear so far, and if Deuser posts a clear, it'll be a time that'll stand for quite a while because this is lightning fast. Daniel Deuser over the back rail as the stride comes in on 7, the first to do 7, and Deuser is clear, and Deuser leads by a landslide. Daniel Deuser 65.39 on Bingo Saint-Hermel. It's absolutely brilliant from what he's just produced. And there it is, the first clear after 9 riders. And Daniel Deuser leads on Bingo Saint-Hermel with a result that can stand a bit of challenging. Jessica Springsteen is on a much younger horse, Cayman de Petot. Zangetrede gelding by Callado and Casal. American riding for Stockholm House, powered by H&M Wheel of Horses. Only with one horse here, if my information is correct. Yeah, that would mean that this would be the only appearance of the day for Springsteen. Seven nearly got long. She had to push in her last 2 strides. It's a difficult approach to this combination. Jumped well to the outside of that line and could nicely wait for the 8th stride to come in. Nice and straight, well balanced, great connection into the double. Final line, time penalty risk, 77 seconds is the time trap of Ezzani to make that. Springsteen with the 2nd clear of the day. There it is, just in time. She is 10 seconds slower than Daniel Deuser, but does take 2nd place with Cayman de Petot Z. America's Jessica Springsteen. Well, this up-and-coming horse for her. Over to Erika Linkhammer van Helmond. Well, her two young boys, her sons, her husband Joris. Erika and her husband based in Asten in the Netherlands. Here with their homebred, Comtessa. Bred by the Swedish-Dutch couple, Comtessa by Comilfo and Casal. And that Comilfo takeoff with punch and energy. But one of these two horses that she has brought here will need to step up and jump their first meter 60 class. Oh, there again into the double, not easy. Comtessa now on 4. You have to go real deep into the corner. And it automatically changes your rhythm because you have to go so deep and you ride by the in-gate, it reduces your pace and your approach, and then you have to come out, accelerate again. The trick is to keep one rhythm, obviously. But that hasn't been so easy for many of these riders in this individual part. Erika Linkhammer van Helmond with 4 penalties. And there's a Norwegian prize, meter 55 against the clock. And from one Swedish to the next, loud cheers for Wilma Hellström and her Swiss-bred Quinty van Hoof. Wilma, just like Erika, also based in the Netherlands, herself in Valkenswaard. Across the street of Staltops. And Quinty being himself, feisty kid. Not a bad entry, not a bad entry. She's not as fast as Daniel Doyce, but she's faster than Jessica Springsteen, who is in second at the moment. Between first and second place are 10 seconds. Oh, got a little bit stuck there on 7, and a great stretch from the gelding. Out and clear and slower actually than Springsteen, and so it is third, just half a second inside the time allowed. Wilma Hellström places in front of Erika Linkhammer, obviously. Hellström third clear, third place. Just over half a second to spare on the time allowed. Wilma Hellström and Quinty van Hoof with 2 individuals still to come. And then the 14 teams with their 2 riders. Kevin Stout will be second last to go of the individuals. He's on Diallo Blue. And he's off, and this is known to be a fast pair. Also just like Dolce. Who rode it better? That is now the question. He's also aiming at sub 70 seconds, that's clear. And he's good for the time, obviously, at this rhythm. Stout. Oh, had a little bit of a quiet, of a sort of a dead distance into the combination. And now with the rail and the 4 penalties, aiming for 4th place to overtake Erika Lickhammer. He is going to stay sub 70. It's actually 66.3 and easily crept up on the time of Daniel Doos, because in the end he reduced the pace significantly. Kevin Stout with Diallo Blue is 0.6 of a second behind on Doyser. Let's have a look at that rail. That is the global champions upright, I believe, at 2. And this is into the combination. First to Oxo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Difficult to see on this angle, but a touch long. And then with the hind leg, Stout, 4 penalties in what started as a very competitive run. Nicola Paul is a new signing for Scandinavian Vikings. Now, what is new? She competed on the Vikings last year, then did not compete in the first half of the season, and now returns to the Vikings, who sit last in the championship standings. Nicola Paul, this first round not playing a role for the team, comes in with Arlo de Blondel after already winning the speed class yesterday. Won that with his very same horse, so in good form. A well-experienced Arlo, 14 years young, this French gelding. Same pace as Doyser, but a little bit wider, I think, than Doyser. Rubs that vertical. Oh, and now she's flying. Oh, deep stride, gets away with it. Just like Doyser on the added approach. Added stride into the double combination. Mind the plank. There on 8, and now into the final line, 65.390. I don't think she's going to make it, but riding for second place there, Nicola Paul and Arlo. Aye, there it is down, coming into the double. Also an added stride, just like Doyser, but this time for her it was too deep. And the time is not fast enough to get in front of Kevin Stout. So on 4 penalties, Nicolas Paul and Arlo de Blondel are now 5th. Try to set him up. And the front end got up, but it didn't really sit down on the hind end. And it resulted in 4 penalties for Nicolas Paul, 70.50 seconds. Let's have a look at the standings, because all individuals have competed. 14 riders have come in with their horses. It's the lead for Daniel Deuser, 10 seconds in front of Jessica Springsteen, then Wilma Hellström, Kevin Stout, Nicolas Paul, and then Erika Lighammer, Fernando Martinez Sommer, and Nadia Peter Steiner. Further down, Weishaupt, Joly, Guéry, Watley, Thijssen, and Mansour, who retired from this competition after an unlucky round with Curiano van Marle. 3 clears after 14 riders. Deuser leads the way by 10 seconds over Wilma Hellström.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
And regions from Sweden. We're going to have a look at the leading 3 so far from the individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful city of Stockholm for the 9th stage of the Global Champions League in the 2024 season here in the country of 1,000 lakes. Sweden welcomes the 14 teams in the championship, and especially the home team, the championship leaders, Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. Here in this iconic Olympic stadium, these 14 teams will go head-to-head and bring out their new signings, because the transfer window has been closed and the transfers have been approved by the Fédération Équestre Internationale. And, well, already some new faces will be coming out in round 1. It's not the sunniest day, though you can also manifest sunshine and expect it to come. And not wait for it, and that's what those ladies were doing right there. As you can see, there's a little bit of sun. Stockholm Hearts have won this stage last year and the year before. They can become the first team ever in a GCL history to win the same stage 3 consecutive years. And with that, if they would win, they would also make a 4th consecutive podium, which not many teams have done either in the history of the league. A course that has been built by Vezzani, the Italian. That is a Spaniard. It is Manuel Fernandez Saro, who is one of those new faces in the team of Madrid in Motion, for example. Manuel Fernandez Saro is a newcomer, as is Angelica Augustsson Zanotelli. She is coming in for Prague Lions. Lions, we have an important stage to work through, because they have to stay in touch with these 7 teams. The race for the championship is red hot. The race for top 4 as well. Hearts, CanStars, Doha Falcons and Riesenbeck. Currently the top 4, and just as a reminder, finishing inside the top 4 means going straight to the semi-final at the Super Cup in Riyadh at the end of the season. There's a break between Prague Lions and Istanbul Warriors. Where do they belong, these Lions? With the leading teams or with the bottom ranked teams? Shanghai Swans there in 12th bring out their new signing, bring out Ben Meyer, who will make his first appearance already today in Global Champions League round 1, with the Swans starting in 5th. Ben Meyer will ride Enjeu de Grésien. The cheer squad for Stockholm is ready. Yeah, they'll have to be, because Stockholm is the first team to go in that round 1 of 14 teams. Straight away followed by Prague Lions and Istanbul Warriors, where Abdel Said, who we just saw there, Abdel Said comes with Cascadello Boy, a fairly new mount for Abdel Said and for Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. Bojana Vezzani is course designer, and his arena size is 85 by 50 meters. Very square shape, as you can see, slightly rectangular. Starts at the Oxer of Longines, and then an 8-stride approach to a very tall vertical of global champions. If you want to be competitive, you can ride that next loop, the next turn, 180 turn on 8 strides from global champions to Agria, and then 7 to Norwegian there at 4 with its recognizable golden rails. Another 180 loop, and this is a difficult turn. Well, not so much the turn, but how you come out of the turn, away from the in-gate into the Global Champions League combination of Oxer, 1 stride and vertical. If you get a little bit stuck in the corner, then this is a difficult approach with a wide Oxer to come in. 5 strides to the Dalarna Heston Oxer, right by the video wall. And then into an interesting part of the course, because from 7 to 8, you've got 6 strides, depending on the pace and the swing you get over 7. The 6 might run a little bit short up to Lugano Diamonds. And then again, you have an option, 7 strides on the inside line, 8, but it's a waiting 8 on the outside, not just through the outside bend. You really have to work for those 8 into that vertical Oxer combination. 9 strides to a big Liverpool Oxer on another related distance to the birch plank. Slide right hand dogleg on 7 strides to the upright. And next, the final line, the triple bar at 12. And is it the flowing 6 on the inside or very much outside 7 strides into the Viking ships? That's the third of 3 double combinations. The Viking ships with 2 strides from vertical to vertical, both verticals at 1 meter and 55 centimeters. The finish just behind the upright, and the time allowed at 77 seconds. That is what Ujana Vezzani has come up with, what those 14 teams need to conquer. No drop scores, every rail counts. Teams in round 1 are ranked on time and in case on penalties, and in case of a tie on penalties, they are ranked on time. And for round 2, the penalties of the first round are carried into round 2, and the story starts all over again. Between round 1 and round 2, there's actually the chance for the team managers to make substitutions, to make changes. Yes, this is the starting of the first Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, with Philippaerts and Philippaerts. Quick tweet, a 9-year-old that has never jumped higher than meter 45. That is a dive into the deep end. Then Prague Lions with Augustsson, Zanotelli and De Vos on 2 very big Grand Prix horses. Next is Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. Said and Scow, their leading 2 men, make up the round 1 lineup. Then Riesenbeck with Harry Allen and Christian Koekoek. Nice van Zorgvliet, first return in a long time. And then Ben Meer with Angers alongside Max Kuder on EIC Julius Kaiser for Shanghai Swans, the team that needs to, or that is fighting an uphill battle. Anquetin and de Lestre probably considered the round 1 favourites for the Doha Falcons. And then Madrid in motion with Manuel Fernandez Saro, the Spaniard, alongside Mark McCauley. Manuel Fernandez Saro is a newcomer. The Vikings with Tovek and Van Eckerman, Swedish riders in the Swedish capital, followed by Rome Gladiators, powered by Clipmahorse.tv, where Kyle Tim is a newcomer alongside this fairly inexperienced Casalu Blue with Richard Howley. Plenty of experience here, Gilles Thomas and Marco Zening for Valkenswaard United. And then 4 teams still to go in round 1. Eduardo de Menezes and Carlos Hank Guerrero for the Amigos. Only signings, only new signings. Céline Schombro de Azevedo and Edouard Levy as 12th team to go for Monaco Aces, powered by Lion of Porches. Can Stars, powered by Iron Dames, with Jan Frederike Meyer Zimmerman and Kim Ammen. Number 2 in the championship standings. And the New York Empire with their new signing, with David Will on Canzal and Spencer Smith on Casablanca. There we have it. Standings, starting order, course, time allowed, everything is ready. And straight away, the first team is the home team, and the championship leaders come in. And there come out the flags as Olivier Philippaerts and Nicolas Philippaerts come in for the championship leaders, as mentioned. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. They've got a 5-point lead on the Can Stars, a 22-point lead on Doha Falcons. They've extended, of course, after their second place finish in Paris just 7 days ago. Quick tweet is his ride for Olivier. Quick tweet is Good-looking man, 9 years young by For Pleasure, but inexperienced. Never jumped a meter 50 class before, never jumped a meter 55 class before. And this is built as a meter 55 class. I love the stride of this mare, the canter. Now let's see how she handles the jumps. Extra stride for Philippaerts. Eight, I think it was for him. And this is a difficult turn out of the corner to the combination, and it's gone. The back rail is gone indeed. Starts with a fault with the rail. The Stockholm Hearts campaign in the bid to win this stage for the third time in consecutive years. Aye. Did they bet on the wrong horse with the inexperience of Quick Tweet jumping her first ever big class? And home in the end with 12, and that's a heavy penalty for Philippaerts and for Quick Tweets. How are they going to recover from this? Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, we love horses. Then through the turn in that difficult corner. I didn't do that much wrong. Philippaerts is just the inexperience of this 9-year-old. Over now to Nicola Philippaerts with H&M Luna van het Ruitershof. This time bred out of a For Pleasure mare. And straight away the brother has to jump a clear in order to stay somewhat in the race of this stage. And so Luna on a bit of a wider turn. Here again, extra stride into the combination. Now the push to come out of there. Nicola for the only clear in round one for the leaders in the championship. Added stride into the combination. Can she take her time? No! On the extra stride, too deep, and then it is 12 and 4, making that a total of 16. That is a bad start for Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. And straight away, opportunities for teams like...
That is a difficult start for the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, who go in pursuit of a record three-peat victory here in Stockholm, having won in 2022, in 2023, looking to make it 3 in a row. But unfortunately, 12 penalties for Olivia Philippaerts, 4 for Nicola Philippaerts, makes that a little bit unlikely already early on this stage. As we get ready to go back to Global Champions League round 1, we give you some more team reaction. We caught up with Simon de Lestre from the Doha Falcons, who have jumped superbly well over the last few stages. Here's what Simon de Lestre has to say about the Doha Falcons team ahead of today's competition.
Mark, as you said, Simon Delestre alongside me now from the Doha Falcons, currently lying in third position. Simon, you and Julian have been walking the course together. What do you make of it?
I think it's a very fair but very delicate course. We have 3 combinations today, especially 2 combinations, one at the end and one in the middle of the round, with a very delicate turn. Looks like 7, little bit keep going, but wide Auxerre going out. I think this combination is going to be tough.
So as in terms of a round one, do you think it is quite a tough round one?
Yeah, it's a difficult round one.
You do come in as the favourites though for round one. You've got a fantastically strong team here this weekend. Are you really looking to claim those points for the championship?
Yeah, we try to. We really focus for the team ranking. We are third now. We have sometimes a little bit bad luck at the beginning of the season, but get stronger every round. And now we really fight for something today, I hope.
So this weekend is a fight for you?
Yeah, we fight strong, thanks.
And how round one goes, what will be the plan for round two?
Jérôme with Callum and me with Dexter.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
So catching up a little bit earlier on with Simon Delestre from the Doha Falcons. They will be 6th out the gate a little bit later on today alongside Julian Akatam. And a lot of excitement around the return of Ben Mayer to the Global Champions League, as he now has been caught up by the Shanghai Swans in a mid-season transfer. Earlier on as well, we caught up with Ben to get his thoughts on coming back to GCL.
Thank you, Mark. Ben Mayer alongside me for Shanghai Swans. Ben, you're just joining the team mid-season. You've probably never been in the position to join a team mid-season. What's it been like so far?
It's been a little strange at the beginning of the season not being on a team, but it's been nice at the same time. I've been able to develop and produce some of the younger horses and not be under as much pressure as you are with a team. But I was on Shanghai Swans maybe 10 years ago or something, so I've done the full circle and been asked to come back, and hopefully I can help the team.
And when did you get the call up for this?
We discussed a couple of weeks ago, and it fit with my show plan and what the team needed to be added, so hopefully I can help them a little bit where they had a couple of weaker weeks with riders, and hopefully it's good for us all.
I was going to say that they're not in the best position at the moment. How much help can you bring forward? You've been on so many championship teams in the past. You know what it takes to be on such a strong team. What can you bring forward to it?
I'm not sure I can better the riders on the team. I mean, between Daniel Deusser, Max Kuhner, Christian Allman, you know, these guys, they have all the experience needed, but sometimes seasons just go like this. Perhaps a little bit down on horsepower individually. It is a long season, so just try to strengthen a little bit where I can. But yeah, it's a long season, and I think that it was an ideal switch halfway.
So it's great to have you back on the team. Let's talk about this course, round one then. You're going to walk us through, I think this is number 8 to 9.
Yeah, it's obviously a speed round. It starts off pretty straightforward. You have a line down the side along the wall here, but maybe this will cause a bit of trouble. It's quite a cool vertical Liverpool there, 5 strides to this Auxerre. And you can just see it's a little bit of a strange bend as we walk from 8 to 9 here.
Yeah, let's walk it.
Okay.
So when you're walking a course at this point, what are you thinking?
Firstly, you have to walk the distance and the line we want. So to keep it simple, it's sort of 2 meters for landing, and then 4 meters, 4 big steps for a stride, and then 2 steps for takeoff. So it's quite a basic way of looking at it, but it's simple for everybody to understand. So this walk, 7 strides. It's very important that my horse jumps a little bit to the right, so important I hold him straight, that I can keep a little bit of curve on here and not be too fast in, but it's right by the gate, the ground slopes down and then up a little bit. All of those things taking into account, and then quite a big Auxerre right into the corner of the arena here.
I was going to say that, and then angle straight into VIP actually, looking into that. Do you think that is quite a tricky one, because you've got then quite a sharp turn afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, these horses are all experienced, but you are coming away from the gate. It's important, the balance and the speed that we come into these things. And I said my horse has a right drift, so everything encourages him on this line to want him to go more to the right, which makes my life a little difficult. But I know that that's coming. We've been together a while now, and I have to try and compensate for those things.
Listen, it's great to see you back on the team. Thank you for walking us through a couple of these lines here, and fingers crossed you guys can get some really crucial points for Shanghai Swans this weekend. Mark, we will head straight back to you.
Fantastic to have Ben Mayer back in the Global Champions League setup as we are here live in Stockholm for stage 9 of the GCL. A wonderful clear for Peter de Vos, the first clear of the afternoon, alongside Angelica Augustin Zanotelli, newcomer to the Prague Lions, who jumps a 4 to put the Prague Lions in the lead on 4 penalties. If you want to watch the rest of GCL here in Stockholm, sign up for your GCTV live pass and you can check out all the action from the ring here on GCTV. Sign up for your pass today.